Hello and welcome back to Sparkle Me Pink. My name is Michelle and today I'm going to be sharing with you a bunch of products that I have hit pan on. Now it very well may have taken me a little while to hit pan on these, but all that means is that they are tried and true and A, last a while, and B, I've actually used them enough to hit pan on, because let's face it, we all have products that we're like, oh, I'm gonna get that, it's affordable, or it's really pretty, or it's totally what I'm going to use, and then it just sits in your drawer unused. And then next thing you know, you have drawers like me full of products. So I decided to go through all of my drawers and find the products that I've hit pan on. Basically the ones that I pull for the most, use the most, love the most, give you my feedback, and let's get started. Okay, so the first product is probably the oldest one that's in my collection, and this is the True Match Blush in C12. It's called Baby Blossom, and this is from L'Oreal. I have seriously had this a ridiculously long time. It is a gorgeous everyday shade. It has a light shimmer sheen to it. No, I don't even want to say that. It just has some sort of delicate finish. I mean, it's not even showing up here on my hand very much. You can see a little bit right there. And it's not a glitter and it's not a shimmer, but it definitely has some sort of glow sheen. Like, it is not matte. I'll say that. And I just love this. I use this as a topper. I use this alone when I want to have a nice bronzy look. I'll kind of pop it on the apples of the cheeks. It is seriously one of my most favorite blushes of all time. I will repurchase this when it gets down low enough. I do keep it clean, wipe it, because I have had it for years. Like, as in, I'm pretty sure that I moved to Arizona with this. That's a long time, but as long as you keep your cosmetics in good standing and clean and hygienic, in my book, it's fine. Like, I'm not gonna throw away perfectly good makeup that I do enjoy. So the next one is a cult classic, and I think just about everyone has this in their collection. It is the Rimmel Stay Matte Long Lasting Press Powder, and this is the translucent one, transparent. As you can see, I have fully hit pan in the center there. Again, this is a totally translucent powder. It is not my absolute favorite setting powder, but it is really good in the T-zone and on the chin and areas that you would get shiny. It's easy to kind of cake it up with this, so apply it delicately, but I really do like this and I keep it on hand. Something I've been really enjoying recently, and it is a drugstore item as well, is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Press Powder in Warm Light 821E. I have fully hit pan there in the middle, and even then, that was domed. That is pretty impressive to be hitting something like that. It is a very see-through shade. Like, it matches my skin tone. Like, you're not gonna see it. Really awesome for in this area, not quite up into the creasing area of the eye. I don't go up that high, but just down here to set some concealer. Really good. I just didn't like it in here. I don't feel like it did too much. It doesn't create any flashbacks, so it's really pretty in pictures. Even if you use other kind of creams and products and things like that, you could top it off with this, and that's going to help with any of the flashback minutes. So sticking in the press powder realm, because let's face it, a lot of these are going to be press powders if I'm going to be hitting pan on them. But this next one is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless Skin Smoothing Press Powder. I have fully hit pan on this, and I really love applying this in the cheek pores. What is this area called? Like, tops the cheeks. I will just lightly take a brush and apply it in that area. Again, it's totally see-through on my skin. You're not going to see it at all. Everywhere else, I don't really need it, but right in here where you can see some of my pores and on my nose a little bit, I like to pack this on very lightly. I don't use a sponge. I've definitely tried it with a sponge, but that was too much. Even with dry or wet sponge, use a brush, apply this sparingly. It has lasted me, I've had this like a year now, so rightfully so, I have hit pan on it. This next one is called the Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Pressed Finishing Powder from Tarte, and I was really hesitant to get this because I wanted to get a mattifying powder to go along with this, because this doesn't mattify me and just fills in pores. That's all this does. And this sometimes cakes up on me a little bit too much for the mattifying. And the girl also recommended for me to get this one. Now, I haven't quite hit pan But if you can see, I have made a heavy, heavy dent in this powder. And I mean, like, it is almost see-through to the bottom. So I'm gonna count that as hitting pan at this point. This, while the others didn't have any sort of sheen, this has a light pearl essence to it. Like, it just goes on the skin and it makes you look sort of glowy, but not in a highlighter way. This is just that beautiful finishing powder, just like it says. I really like this one. I wish I didn't, because it is pretty pricey, but I mean, it's not like as much as other high ends, but this is definitely in the middle of the road, above drugstore, but below the super high-end luxury, in that middle ground, and I do really like having this in my collection. Now, this next one really surprised me because I actually really do not like their concealer, their foundation, really anything else from the brand. This is the only thing that has really stuck with me with them, and it is the Amazing Cosmetics Velvet Mineral Powder Set Setting Powder for the Face. And this is a very white, very powdery powder. I mean, very powdery, and it has quite the white cast. So you do have to apply it quite sparingly. You can even see it on my hand there. But I love to use this with a tiny little blending brush, and I'll pick it up like this, or blending sponge, and I'll pack it just on that inner corner. Your eyes are not going to crease when you're using this. I really like this. I highly recommend it. Not something I've actually hit pan, but just like the Tarte one, you could see there is quite the dent in there. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it is practically hitting the bottom. Now, these next two products I have absolutely cleared out to the bottom, basically scraping up the bottom of the pan. This is the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. I mean, who doesn't have this in their collection? I've even been using these corners for several months now. Wonderful investment. I love this. It is a light orangey tinge to it, so you do have to be careful if you're fair toned, but I mean, you've seen a million people apply this. I really like it. I love keeping it in my collection, and I don't use it sparingly. I go all out. I enjoy it. I like this a lot. Blends out really nicely. All right, the next one is also not really a surprise because you see me use this in several videos. It is the contour kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I really only ever use this one shade. Occasionally I'll set my under eye with this yellow one, and sometimes I'll warm up the face with these other ones, but I really only ever use this middle shade called Fawn, and it is more of a dustier, sort of taupey brown rather than the Hoola Benefit. This is definitely warmer than the middle one of this one. These ones are a lot warmer and remind me of the Hoola. Like, those probably could be all in a little set, but this guy is a lot more taupe. As you can see there, a lot more taupe blended in. I like to use this to carve out my cheeks in here a little bit, and I really like it. We'll have to buy a replacement because these pans pop out, which is really cool. So I could buy a new one. And again, that one was called Fawn. All right, so this next product I have basically totally cleared out, and so much so that I bought another one. And it's not a brand that I had really heard of. I want to say that I had received this in a BoxyCharm or Glossy Box way back in the day. They sent it with a brush, they sent it with the compact. This is the Bodyography Essential Brow Trio. And actually, oh my gosh, it has crumbled, it has fallen apart. The only one I haven't really used to death is this last one. Like, it got to the point where it was crumbling so much that I started to apply alcohol in it and pressing it back in. And it just got to the point where I needed to get another one. Like it is right now, it's getting everywhere. So this is what it looks like when it is in the full size. You could already tell I have put quite the dent in this second one. I really like this. I really like using all the colors together to kind of shade in my brows, and it stays all day. I do like using a pencil first to define certain areas and then fill it in with the powder or set it with the powder. I don't know why, but I really like this set. Maybe it's the colors, maybe it's the formula, maybe it's all of it. Okay, so this next one's a little bit cheating because I haven't quite hit pan on it, but I have made a serious dent in it. This is a Mary Kay eyeshadow, and I'm not like the biggest Mary Kay Not that I'm a big Mary Kay fan, I just don't use a lot of products from them. And this is their single eyeshadow. I don't know if you can see, it has made quite the stinking dent in here. And this is in the shade Hazelnut. This is the perfect transition shade or all over lid if you're gonna do a nice smoky eye or just using it on the outer corner. Putting this in the crease is just perfect for any look on the planet because it's nice and ashy and taupey, and I love it. It's my favorite, and I do keep it in this little individual case because I'm not cool and I don't have one of those Z palettes just yet, even though I've talked about them for like 100 years. All right, so this next one, kind of backtracking to the powders a little bit, and it's not quite a pressed powder, it's a loose powder. It is the e.l.f. Sheer Under Eye Setting Powder. And it comes with like a little sifter, and then I just used to like tap it into there. I mean, this is 100% empty. I used the whole thing. And at first I was kind of like, nah, I don't think I like it. It's kind of annoying that it's a loose powder. I kind of liked using something like this, but I mean, this is pretty expensive compared to this. But then I found myself using it every single day. And then I ran out of it, and now I want to repurchase it. So how much could I possibly like not like it if I keep using it? So I wanted to throw that out there as an honorable mention for an under eye setting powder. Give it a go. All right, so going to the eyeshadow realm, I don't know that I've really ever hit pan on an eyeshadow, but that's because I own, I'm looking at it right now, a ridiculous amount of eyeshadow palettes or individual shadows. Like, I'm pretty sure like every girl on the planet now owns a ridiculous amount of eyeshadow. So to hit pan is kind of a big deal. This is the CoverGirl Notice Me Nudes palette. I love this palette and I have used it to death. And I have seriously hit pan, and no, I didn't break it and scrape it out. Like, that is just how much I have enjoyed this palette, and I would absolutely repurchase it. This is the palette I take with me when I travel. Like when we have overnight stays or we go with his parents somewhere, or we're, you know, going on vacation or anything like that. This is the palette I take with me because I can do a very light nude day-to-day, you know, color scheme, or I can deepen it up with this one, throw on some lashes, and look all kinds of put together. I absolutely love this. Definitely pick it up and give it a go. I haven't really tried, I know I have other ones from the set, but I don't pull for them. This is the one I use the most. Love it. They better keep making it because I would seriously be so upset if they stop. Now moving on to some honorable mentions, because these next products aren't ones that I could physically hit pan on, but I've used them up, so why not share them with you? And the two that I really want to mention first are going to be these eyebrow pencils. We were talking about this before, that I like to use pencils to define my brows and then go in with the powder. This one is the Mirabella Brow Pencil in Medium. I did really like this. It was super fine, so tiny. I mean, it is dead. It is used up. There is nothing. Let's see if I can get some out. Okay, I got a little out. It's very taupey, but still a little bit warm. And it looks like it would be too light for me, but I actually kind of like having my, you know, dark lashes. No, what are they called? Brow hairs. And then having a little bit of lightness to give it a little contoured look. And then this one, I absolutely love this, and I need to repurchase it. It's just a little too pricey for me at the moment. It's something I have to like scheme and coupon for, like use my Ulta points or something. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I got it in the shade 4. And this again is a tiny, like there is literally, I don't even think I can. No, I can't even, this is dead. I like scraped it out. That is how much I love this stuff. Highly recommend it. I want to say it's like 22 bucks. So I need to just suck it up and go get some because I really do enjoy it. This next one is something I've talked about on my channel before. It's the Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner and Serum. It has a brush tip, and I'm pretty sure this is pretty dead. Yeah, it's starting to shear out a bit, so like it looks fine there, but then you would go to do the second eye and there would be nothing there, so I usually just replace it at that point, especially when it's only like $6 to $8 at the drugstore, depending on where you go. I like this. It's comparable to the Lorac Front of the Line Pro eyeliner that I really love. This doesn't have as good as staying power as the Lorac one does, but the Lorac one's $22 and I'm pretty frugal, so I'm gonna use this one. All right, these next ones are just concealers. I'll mention real quick. It's the Age Rewind Maybelline Concealer and the Better Skin Super Stay Maybelline Concealer. I don't even think they make this anymore. I know they make this and everybody uses this. I don't think they make these anymore, and it makes me so sad because this and the foundation were some of my favorites of all time. I had to mention it though, because maybe they'll bring it back one day and then I'll be like, see, I told you it was the best. I love it. Whew, I'm like all hyped up and like excited because it's fun kind of talking about the things that I love and I use on a daily basis or regular basis. I mean, I would be surprised if my next, I hit pan video wouldn't include this butter bronzer. I have been going to town on this. I'm surprised I haven't hit pan on it already. I sit there and I'm like, it's just, and it smells good. It's just one of those things I have to keep on hand. But all right, that's enough of me chitter chattering. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments down below, and if you have tried any of the products, or if you haven't, maybe which ones you're interested in trying now that you've seen me love them and share them. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and check out my blog at sparklemepink.com. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.